Okay, I haven't done an at the range in a little while. Man, things have been just, I don't even want to talk about it. Things have been horrible. Canik, TP9, SFX, at the range, coming right up. So I haven't been at the range in a while because, you know, my life's just been a mess. But it's nice to be back at the range. Actually nice to have a fairly decent day for it too. And I thought, you know, this has been on my list for a long time. I get comments and questions on a fairly regular basis about this gun and having to do with getting it back out. And I keep saying, yeah, I need to do that. I need to get this Canik back out. And first of all, yes, I have thrown in the towel on the name pronunciation. I know that in Europe, particularly in Turkey, it is pronounced differently. It's more like Canik, but I get so much crap over that. So rather than try to respect the name of the company and the name of the brand, I'm just going to say Canik like everybody else does, so you guys will leave me alone. So leave me alone. But I've been wanting to get this bad boy back out for quite a while, and this was a great excuse, so I hope you'll join me. Have a little fun at the range with this gun. So let me put about 10 or so rounds through it first, and then we'll start talking. All right, so kind of break myself in and refresh my memory a little bit. Been a long time since I've shot this gun. It is a beautiful candidate for a very budget-friendly competition handgun. Now, budget-friendly isn't cheap, and I don't mean that necessarily in terms of price, but mostly I don't mean it in terms of quality. This is a well-made gun. I said that quite a while ago, and nothing has changed my mind. Just because something is affordable doesn't mean it's not good quality. The Canik brand, I think, exemplifies that. I think that every Canik that I've shot has been extremely well made and quite nice to shoot. This one, the very first time I had it out, I think I did my very first video with this, shooting it live in a competition. That was like my literally out of the box right into an IDPA match. And on the very first stage, the filament came flying out of the front sight. So I had to shoot the rest of the IDPA match with just a little hole for a front sight, which worked okay. It wasn't ideal. But I did put a new filament in it, and I did a better job than they did obviously at the factory because it has stayed in there for a really long time. This gun is also optics ready. One of the things I'm not a huge fan of in that respect is that when you take off the cover for the cutout for a rear sight, or for the optic, it also removes the rear sight. So there's literally zero chance that you're ever going to co-witness. So I'm not a huge fan of that. If you go with this optic, you better really put all your eggs in that basket. The gun's pretty light for its size. It is, you know, I think it's a cast construction. It's got a lot of lightning holes in the front of the slide that help keep the weight down there. The grip feels great. It's got a nice, of course, this one's wearing a rubber Talon grip, which is, you know, that improves everything. And that's just the way I roll. But, you know, it's got a decent grip, but more importantly, the ergonomics of the grip are really good. It's very comfortable and it's huge. I mean, my hand doesn't even start to take up all the space available on this grip. That's because it comes with these 19 or 18 round magazines. You get a couple of those with the extended base plate, and it's definitely geared for competition. The flush magazine holds 16, and then it comes with 2 +2s. All right, back at it. It is a shooter. This is a nice shooter. I would go as far as to say that you don't need to qualify using this gun. You don't need to say, well, you know, it's a great gun for the price. That for the price qualifier is not necessary. This is just a really nice gun, and I think it's very match worthy. I would not have any problem at all shooting like an entire season of IDPA, maybe even USPSA, stuff like that, steel match, whatever. I would not have any problem using this gun all summer long. And other than that front sight flying out right off the bat, I don't think I've ever had any trouble with it. Try some headshots. All right, that's a good one. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I can only go downhill from here. Trigger is amazing. Very possibly one of the very best triggers out of the box you can get. The sight picture is, the rear notch is a U-shaped notch. It's a great sight picture, but it is a competition sight picture. What I mean is the front sight blade is very narrow compared to the notch, and you got a lot of air on both sides of it, as opposed to that combat picture that is real tight. What that means is you can have your front sight inside the rear notch still be off by several degrees. So, but what it does do is allows you to really be super accurate too. It's kind of a good news, bad news thing. That red fiber does glow nicely. Uh-oh, what was that? So, he asks, because I lost count a long time ago. I think I had 15 rounds in this magazine. Do we have a hard primer or something? I'm shooting, what am I shooting? Freedom munitions, actually, is what I'm shooting. 124 grain. Or did we not lock the slide back? Or did we have a misfire? Well, let's find out. Just waiting long enough to make sure we don't have a hang fire. And, yep, slide didn't lock back, so we are good. Yeah, it's a little bit fussy there. So it might be this particular magazine and follower, something to check, and that is magazine number 4. I do number my magazines. I urge you to do the same thing. So if you have a suspect magazine, you can remember which one it was. Let's see how the Canik TPS9 SFX handles everything. This is steel-cased Tula ammo. And I think I still have a few boxes of this left, and I probably need to lock it away as a collector's item at this point, because it might not be anything we ever see again. Not in our lifetime. Not mine. All right, well, let's see how it handles ammunition that kind of gets a bad rap, and rightfully so in many cases. But Tula, steel-cased, 9mm. All right. I felt myself flinch a couple down low, but when I do my job, it does its. Both the gun and the ammo. No complaints there. Stuff does have a distinctive smell though, doesn't it? Yeah, this is a great shooting gun. Really is a great shooting gun. it's a lot of fun. I mean, even if you're not a competitor, you just want something you can bring to the range and just let loose with. This is a really good one, and it's not going to set you back. I bought this, what's it been, a few years ago now? So I haven't paid attention to what the current market conditions are for these guns, but I think, you know, they've kind of maybe taken the marketing example of Hyundai and Kia, you know, where they come in cheap, get their market share, get people to realize they make good products, and get word of mouth out, and then the price starts to creep up. And I think that may be where Canik kind of is right now. Again, I'm not really sure. I haven't paid a lot of attention. But there's a lot here to like. It has an extended slide stop slide release, so that without changing my grip at all, so I don't have to change my grip at all to chamber around, which is nice, or to lock the slide back and lock it open, which is also nice when you want to show clear. You don't want to have to be fumbling around and changing your position and making the SO nervous when you're showing clear. You want to be able to just flip that slide lock up. Trigger is, as I said, it is incredible. Takedown is Glock-like, and as far as the way the gun is constructed on the upper portion, the slide, very Glock-like as well. Down in the frame, it's not so much. It's got a completely different type of trigger group, obviously, obviously, to feel as good as it does. But it's just it's a great gun. This is a great little competition gun for cheap. I'm guessing this is magazine number 4. Yes, it is. Magazine number 4, which doesn't like to lock back very well. So I'm going to have to maybe play with that a little bit. But that target's about 12 yards down range, and you know, without really struggling to try, just shooting offhand and having some fun, it's making a nice group. I mean, the majority of that group is, you know, fist size, so I'm okay with that all day long. I would take those hits in a match all day long too. Okay, wrapping things up here at the range today with the Canik. TPS9 SFX. Special effects, I guess that stands for. I don't know. I probably made that joke a long time ago. Never gets funny, does it? Extended mag release button is also super nice. I believe it either comes with a smaller, flatter one, or you can easily get a smaller, flatter one, just in case you don't prefer the extended one. But the extended one is definitely nice, especially again for a competition gun. Between the extended magazine release and the extended slide release, you really are able to do those great reloads pretty fast without altering your grip, and that is super key. So I'm glad I put this thing on the list to get back out to the range. Had a great time with it. I wish I had hundreds of more rounds to put through it. I could stay here all day shooting this thing. If you've got one, you know what I mean. If you don't have one and you're thinking about a competition gun, or as I said, just a great fun range gun, this is one that you might want to consider. And I can tell you, you'll not find a better out-of-the-box trigger. Not on a stock factory gun. It's not only light and crisp, it is also super short reset with nice tactile feedback. It is a fun shooter. The standard grip surface is not something I'm a big fan of, which is why I put the rubber talon on it. But, you know, I put rubber talons on just about everything. This one really needed it. And it does make a huge difference. Completely changes the feel of the gun. I kind of like this gun better without an optic. This is a great open sights gun. Sweetness.